So before we get into the video, I want to pay respect to the creative director of Beyond Good and Evil 2. Not the old guy, he has some problems, but the new guy. Emil Morse, he died at the age of 40 last year. I expect many don't know of him, but I'm sure many people know his works. If you ever played or heard about Rayman Legends, yeah, he helped make that game. This man was good at his job. And Beyond Good and Evil 2 would have been better with him at the helm. Taken too soon. So Beyond Good and Evil 2, it's... in fact, let me just focus on Beyond Good and Evil for a moment. So you understand where I'm coming from. I love Beyond Good and Evil. I genuinely give a damn about this game. I play it. Every now and then I come back to it. And I fall in love all over again. The way this game came out had just the right amount of action. The right amount of satire. The right amount of serious moments where things got real. The right amount of gameplay, right? Just the right amount of length. It was perfect. I will say, Beyond Good and Evil, the first game, it was perfect. I genuinely love it. Now, here's the thing. I would have never played this game if it wasn't for a chance encounter. I just wouldn't. It wouldn't be up my alley. Back then, when this game came out, I played Jak 2, Ratchet & Clank, Tony Hawk Underground 2, phenomenal. The Simpsons, Hit and Run, SS Tricky 3, or SSX 3. I don't know the name, all I know is I always call it Tricky. Literally, it was so good. It's so damn good. I love that game. Prince of Persia. I played Devil May Cry 2. Listen, we all make mistakes sometimes, right? True Crime, Streets of LA. That was awesome. Final Fantasy X and X2. So I play a bunch of different games. And then Beyond Good and Evil, which box art, did nothing for me. If I didn't see this unassuming game at my cousin's house and just popped it in and played like the first hour of it, I would have never known what a masterpiece this is. Beyond Good and Evil is a game that was way ahead of its time. It has to be said and explained. Way ahead of its time. The inspiration for this game was a bug that was found in Rayman 2 mid-development that allowed someone to just hop on a pirate ship and cruise through the whole map uncontested. And from that small bug, we got the inspiration of Beyond Good and Evil. But it was way ahead of its time in both in concept and technology. And I have to really explain it. Give me a second. This is the original idea for Beyond Good and Evil. You go on a spacefaring adventure where you can hop on a ship at planet level, at the surface of the planet, go fly into orbit, go past orbit into deep space, and then go to a different solar system, a different part of the universe, different galaxy, and land on another planet. We have 2 games that fit that description to date, that make sense, that actually try to do that, which would be No Man's Skies and Starfield. Quick side note, if you're interested in Starfield, just play No Man's Sky. Just do yourself the favor and play the superior product. Just play No Man's Sky, okay? Just do yourself that one favor. After that, that's all I gotta say. Now, back to Beyond Good and Evil. Imagine that game coming out for the PS2. This giant space adventure, expanding universe. It would have never come out or never been as good as Beyond Good and Evil is. And I have to stress this next point very a lot, right? I have to explain myself. Though the developers, the original developers that made Beyond Good and Evil, that original team that are still around, though the game you originally envisioned isn't what you came up to or what came out because you had to do a lot of concessions to meet the specs of the hardware you're working with and meet deadlines and to reconform it so it actually has some success. Though that game is not what you guys envisioned, what you guys wanted to do, thank you. This game is so good. I love Jade. I love Double H. I love Segundo. No one explains how he can do the stuff he does, but he does. And I love Double H. He grows on you. I don't know how. He seems annoying and wacky and zany, but he grows on you. So thank you for making the best you can do with what you had. Because Christ, this is a game. It's golden. It's ahead of its time. Now, I need you guys to hear me out here. I might be crazy. I might be completely off the deep end. Do not make Beyond Good and Evil 2. Don't do it. Hear me out. Before you click off the video, hear me out. Just hear me out. Hear my rant out. I swear to God, this makes sense. Given the tumultuous history of this game's dev cycle, which is always start, stop, stop and go, stop and go. Given its massive history of always switching up developers, starting new teams, stopping, working on something else, splitting the team in half, given its development hell, that I mean, this game is being made in difficulty impossible when it comes to the devs. Like, they're just, I feel for the devs because it feels like they're fighting a black hole with a spoon. But as a fan, when it comes to Beyond Good and Evil 2, I don't know what I'm looking at. The gameplay, what we're watching, what we're seeing, is so far divorced from what we gotten before that it feels that I need to read 2 novels, play a 3rd game, get the secret DLC with the secret ending, and then watch some like audio book or audio play online just to know how we got from here to here. Not to mention that this gameplay, though looks cool, looks fantastic, it looks really fucking nice. I'm gonna be real with you, this looks great. But the gameplay looks like Space GTA. What I'm trying to get at is, wouldn't this game be served better if it was something completely away from the idea of Beyond Good and Evil? Since Ubisoft head honchos, suits, whatever you want to call them, board members, are averse to touch anything with Beyond Good and Evil, wouldn't it be better to just not have this game take place as Beyond Good and Evil? You know what I'm trying to say? Oh, by the way, 3 videos linked down below. One is the actual complete story analysis of Beyond Good and Evil. It's a good watch. It's about an hour. You can watch it as a podcast. Trust me when I tell you, it's a pretty damn decent watch. Go give me a subscribe. Go like the video. Go watch it. And there's 2 videos that actually document the history of the development cycle and the franchise of Beyond Good and Evil and its tumultuous past. Go watch it. Those are beautiful done video essays, and you will enjoy them. Okay, back to the topic, but do not get me wrong. I want Beyond Good and Evil 2 to come out perfect. I want that game to come out to be so good that it makes Ubisoft stop with the Assassin's Creed clones. It stops with the stupid JRPG mechanics and this map design that they just stuck on. I want Beyond Good and Evil 2 to be so good, so flawless, that Ubisoft has to genuinely change how they view games moving forward. But that is a wish. That is a dream. That is me praying for the impossibility. And if I do have a wish, it wouldn't be on this game. It would be to win the lottery. Listen, I want to win the lottery. Listen. Look, just hear me out. I wouldn't blame you if you choose a wish to win the lottery. I would do the same. Just saying. You know what? In fact, no. I don't want to win the lottery. I want to take all the in-game currency I've ever made in my life, just transfer that into my bank. I can do that. I can live with that. When it comes to Beyond Good and Evil 2, I think this is an impossible ship to land, air quotation. But I like what I see. Look at this cinematic. Look at this world. Look at this. Look, please acknowledge how good this looks. It's so crisp. I can tell there's legit years and years of work, dedication. But damn, I don't know if they can do it. And I want them to. I want this. But I don't know if I'm going to be wishing for something that's not going to happen. Like, it's a weird monkey's paw situation where if we get it, I can guarantee you people are not going to vibe with it. But we get it. Or there's like an off 1% chance that this thing is flawless. But I don't know because we don't see anything about the game. We don't hear anything about the game. And to be honest, when it comes to Ubisoft and the games that they make and publishes, if they're huge AAA budget games, they're just this Assassin's Creed open world map collecting, map cleaning RPG mess. I don't think Beyond Good and Evil should be that, and I don't think they can publish the game without that in it, because Ubisoft, well, it's Ubisoft. The last update on the website for Beyond Good and Evil 2 was 2020. Fair, you know, 2020 we were all dealing with the plague, but it's been about 4 years. This game has been in production for about 16 years. Let me check. Let me check. 16 years. On and off, but in total, 16 years. So I'm just gonna wrap it up. That's my opinionated piece on Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now the rest of the video is gonna be me suggesting what should happen with the franchise moving forward. If I was in charge, what would I do? Well, seeing as we have the technology now, why don't we remake the first one? Why don't we remake Beyond Good and Evil 1 and just make it the best game that it could possibly be? Like, hear me out. Resident Evil 4 is phenomenal. It's a remake. It's one of the best games I've ever played, and especially beautifully what they did with Resident Evil 4. They brought it up to speed. They added some new bells and whistles. They tuned up the story. It's good. It's a good game. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Integrate. And I can't wait for Rebirth. Like, we are currently at the era in gaming where we can retell some of the old stories as new, as better, and as more expensive as we can. And I know, I don't believe, I don't just think, I know Beyond Good and Evil is that game. It deserves a second shot. Because believe it or not, Ubisoft didn't really market Beyond Good and Evil. Ubisoft didn't know what to do with Beyond Good and Evil. And to be honest, back then, games were more greedy or straight cartoony. 2003, when Beyond Good and Evil came out, had to deal with massive contenders. We had Knights of the Old Republic, Soul Calibur 2, Burnout, Point of Impact, F-Zero GX. Dude, that game was so good. Bloody Roar 3. Dude, that game needs more love. And Zelda the Wind Waker. Right? That year in gaming was stacked. It really was. And Ubisoft, besides putting out Prince of Persia the same year and Splinter Cell, had no faith, had no idea what they were going to do with Beyond Good and Evil. And they just decided to just put it out like it was supposed to do numbers when you didn't back this game up. So rectify that mistake and make a remake. And you know how to make a remake about it because the blueprint's there. Get rid of your live service. Get rid of your open world Assassin's Creed RPG map sweeper and just do an actual game. And I'm going to give you the blueprint because I know you guys love your microtransactions. So first and foremost, get rid of them. You don't need them. You don't need them. Trust me, you don't need them. I'm going to explain to you why. You don't need the RPG system at all as well. I'm going to explain to you why. Give me a minute. And the reason I know this will work in today's gaming landscape is games like God of War, 18 and Ragnarok. Last of Us, the first one or the second one, we hate it. Control, Alan Wake, phenomenal game, needs more love, needs more attention. And Horizon Zero Dawn. Each one of those games are very well written, narrative-led games that tell a story from completion. And to be honest, some games are written better than movies and TV shows and even novels. Some games are written better than other mediums. Like, we're getting to the point where gaming is that good as the medium when it comes to telling stories. So I'm sure you can imagine retelling the events of Beyond Good and Evil, expanding about it, giving it more history, more character interaction, making Lighthouse actually be a place you go to, not just a garage for Jade and Paige. Like, you could do a lot with this game. The world of Hillers is massive and it's ripe for exploration and innovation. Thank you for making it this far in the video. Thank you for watching it. And if you're gonna stay for the rest of it, thank you as well. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the YouTube is, all that good jazz. But without further ado, let's get into it. I am not gonna rewrite the whole story for this game in this video. This video will literally be easily like probably like an hour and a half if I even tried that. I've done it once with this video, my Sky's Arcadia video. It's my first remake suggestion video, and Lord, I did so much for that video. It's rough, but it's my first one. I'm gonna leave it up because I know where I started and I know where I'm going. So I'm not gonna write all these different scenarios, but I am gonna make suggestions because I have some ideas how the game can be played. Sure, the world needs to be expanded. The world of Hillis needs to be huge. But I have some ideas of how we can do and go about that where it makes sense narratively speaking. This is where I draw in completely different inspiration from. Let's use Black Clover. I'm just gonna use the map, not the anime. By the way, it's a fun watch. It's a fun watch. Cool, look at this map right here. We got 3 different realms, Noble, Common, and Forsaken. There's a clear distinction on the class, or like, you know, the wealth class going on here, a nice divide. You can use this map to make it so the Alpha Faction are always on the Noble's realm, right? They're always at the top tier of the people who have the most influence. That's where they're at, and that's where their main base is stationed at. Because they always pull out their propaganda and always have something going on and always look good for the camera, all the nobles, all the rich people, all the people in power think they're doing good. So Isis is currently located in the common realm, and Jade in her lighthouse, the orphanage.
What did he say?
I mean orphanage. I'm sorry. I was watching Black Dynamite. I apologize. So Jade and the kids and Paige are located in the Forsaken Realm. So that could be where most of the attacks are happening from the Doms. And the nobles think they're fine because they're always being protected. The common folks can always be protected most of the time. But the Forsaken Realm, that's where most of the kidnappings are happening. And that's where no one cares because it's not the nobles. So using a system like this, or this map for example, is a great way to explain how the alpha session have the influence they do, because they only work where they need to be. Right? You don't have to convince the people at the orphanage that they're good people. They only have to convince the ones who run the world, who run the governments, who run the food industry and all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying we use this map in particular, I'm just using this as an example, but once again, using this map as an example, we could have so many more pit stops along the way between the Forsaken Realm and the Noble Realm. We can have more cities, we can have more points of interest, we can have more traversal on the boat. In fact, we can have more forests, more fauna, a lot more stuff, because the world is expanded and it makes sense to why this place is being forsaken and the other place isn't. Alright, let's talk about music for a quick second. Just make it good. I trust that you can be diverse enough. And yes, I say diverse enough, even though now that's a buzzword. But back then, when I heard this track, and then in that same hour, I went to the racing way and heard this. Un poquito de benzina para tu lindo caché, Juanito el mecano, estaba petale turbo para que quieres el mejor. El mejor. Un poquito de benzina para tu lindo caché, Juanito el mecano, estaba petale turbo para que quieres el mejor. El mejor. That's the kind of diversity I want. I just want a huge spectrum of music from different genres. And that is very fitting for the world of Hillis, for the world of Beyond Good and Evil, because we see shark, Jamaican rhinos, we see Goatman, this cat lady. I mean, we see Paige. We see so many different creatures. I mean, we see so many different creatures in this game, and we have to take pictures of them, which is kind of rude. This guy looks like he's having a bad day. I'm just here taking a picture of him. He looks drunk. Like, no one wants this, but hey, apparently I'm doing it. So music needs to be diverse, like the people in this planet. When it comes to the look of this game, the visual style, I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I like what we see in Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think this looks pretty. I think this looks good. I think this looks phenomenal. That being said, the old style from Beyond Good and Evil 1 holds up very well to this day. It's a little rough around the edges, but you know, this game is 20 years old. It can pay rent. So that's fair. We'll give that a pass. But genuinely speaking, toss a coin, lands where it lands. I don't know which one I want more than the other. I think they will both work, so it's literally up to whoever makes this game. Now let's talk about gameplay, okay? We really gotta get into this. So it's gonna be a third-person action game, because obviously that's what the game is. It's a remake, so let it be what it is. I'm thinking somewhere along the vein of Kena Bridges Spirit when it comes to how she gets to move, how she gets to dodge. Now, I'm not saying it should be as hard as that game. Yes, if you did not know, this game is a Souls-like, and boy, would it kick your ass. I'm not saying it's the hardest Souls-like, but it's a decent Souls-like. It's a pretty good game. You should check it out. But when it comes to boss fights, it needs to be epic fights. And I mean epic cinematic fights. Think of Horizon Forbidden West. The way you have to dismantle these creatures, the way you have to tackle these creatures with traps, perfectly placed shots, or, you know, environmentals, is how I envision Jade to fight. She's not an action star, but she could be. I mean, she has some moves, but let's be honest, she's taking down giant sentient creatures. And the first game did a very well job of this, right? This fight with Double H, I genuinely liked it. I think most of the fights should have been handled that way. They weren't, but it's fun. And to be real, it's not that I don't want her to be a capable fighter, it's that I don't think she should be a capable fighter given what she's up against. She's part of a militia group that has to be funded by the people in secret against an active multi-galaxy spanning military force. Her stick, bow staff, and disc shooting glove are not enough to deal with the stuff she has to combat. These guys are equipped at the nines to kill on sight. So I don't think she should be able to just outright destroy these guys in combat. They're tanks. They're tanks with powerful guns and abilities, laser guns. She's just a cute girl with a camera and a stick. I'm not sure she's equipped for the fight. And I don't think she should be, at least not until the end game. Since we're talking about the alpha section, right? Let's also talk about the stealth sections in this game. Just follow Metal Gear Solid, right? Specifically, 3 and 5. You're gonna use Metal Gear 3, Snake Eater, for the more linear based stealth section. This is where a lot of story is gonna happen because it's linear based. So you can actually perfectly calibrate what you want, when you want, and all the actions are gonna happen. And then use Metal Gear 5, right? The Phantom Pain, for those random alpha section posters you find everywhere throughout the world. I mean, remember, she's all the way over here. That means the alpha section is also posted up there. What's next on the list? Mini games and playstyles. This racing game is basically Wipeout. Just tone down the action, tone down the speed, and it's basically a Wipeout. Give us a fishing mini game. And for those of you who don't like fishing mini games, listen, we gotta take pictures of fish. We might as well fish them while we're at it. You know what I mean? Like, make money of it. You know what I'm saying? Give us more deep caves to explore. I'm sure this is gonna happen in the game either way if it gets remade. And in those caves, make sure we hint what Jade is, or at least explain what the Doms are. Because I know Jade is a Dom. Whoa. Oh, wait. Oh my god, they didn't think of that name for the alien race. Holy shit, Jade's a Dom. I can see it. Either way, explain what she is, or at least hint at what she is. One of my biggest gripes with Beyond Good and Evil 1 is that the alpha sessions are too one-note. Like, they're not the villain of the story, but they are the antagonists for the most part. And I think they can stay as that. I think they should stay as that. But make it that some of the people from ISIS are so morally gray that they're like, whatever gets the job done type characters. Where it's like, well, now, this might be a little too much. And Jade's like, yo, guys, are we really the good guy? And they're like, yes, we're just doing this for the greater good. Something like that. So it actually feels like she has to pick between what's actually happening. Because she's not going to be told everything out front. And Paige definitely has the secrets, which he should keep. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, make it so there's more gray situations, or like gray area situations happening around both ISIS and the alpha section. And lastly, can we take care of the kids? I mean, we run an orphanage, right? And we don't go there a lot in the main game or in the first game. We go there 2-3 times minimum if you want to just be efficient with the game. You don't really need to be at the lighthouse. And really, the lighthouse only true purpose is to start the game there and be a garage for the hovercraft and spaceship. So it doesn't do much. And narrowly speaking, we should go back and check on the kids before they get kidnapped. Like, you don't have any purpose to go back there. And I just think it's a waste. We should do more with that. You know, pay for the shields, pay for some supplies, some food, something. You know, make it so her being a worker in an orphanage that gives a damn about these kids, we don't ever see that ever in the first game, which is fine. The game had a limited scope and a limited runtime. But if you're going to remake this game, let us see that. Let us actually see her try, help, worry about these kids, try to feed these kids, try to teach these kids, save them, you know, something like that. I'm not going to get into all the scenarios that could happen, but you could do a lot with this. And that's everything I have to say. Like, this video was originally an hour and a half. I had to trim it down a lot because I just kept ranting and rambling. But to be honest, I think personally that Beyond Good and Evil 2, if it was to come out and it's not a massive success, would just damage the legacy that Beyond Good and Evil 1 has cultivated over the years. And that's why I say remove the game, make it its own thing, and just remake the first one. Because given how stories are being told nowadays in gaming, like when we have these deep, massive narratives, like Red Dead Redemption 2 style, I think Beyond Good and Evil deserves that legit treatment, like an actual fair shot like that. Because Ubisoft didn't give a fair shot back then. I think now is the time. I think now would be the best time. Either way, This has been Definitely Not Bots. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you disliked the video, give me a thumbs down. Subscribe for more weird gaming takes. But whatever you do, make sure you have a good day on purpose. And I'll catch you on the next one.